Several reports and analysis have indicated that the Ukrainian troops have now reportedly positioned themselves on the east of the Dnipro river. This has given rise to speculations of much awaited spring counter-offensive by Ukraine. Just yesterday, a Ukrainian drone was found outside Moscow that led local authorities to call off a Victory Day parade for security reasons. Earlier, authorities in several border regions, including Belgorod, had also said that they would be cancelling Victory Day parades in light of these sightings of Ukrainian drones. A similar drone was found in the town of Kolomna in February, approximately 100 kilometers southeast of Moscow. So, is Kyiv trying a bravado of attacking straight in the heart of Moscow? Are these drones aimed to send a clear message to Vladimir Putin that Moscow is in the line of fire of Ukraine? In fact, today morning, Russia's Black Sea Fleet claimed to have repelled a drone attack on the Crimean port of Sevastopol. So, what lies in the store as the much anticipated spring counter-offensive is likely to begin? In this video, we decode the answers to these pertinent questions. But before that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Oneindia. Over the course of 425 days of battle, neither of the countries have been truly able to claim a stronghold on the contested regions. After more than a year since the Russian invasion, recent fighting has become a war of attrition with neither side able to gain momentum. The fate of the city of Bakhmut is still not sealed and there are contrary claims emerging from Ukraine and Russia. The battle for Bakhmut is the fiercest one in the last few months, with Russia claiming advances in the region. However, Ukraine has continued to deny that Moscow has captured parts of the city. Same is happening with Kherson, with both sides claiming victories. Major General Kyrilo Budanov, head of Ukraine's defense intelligence, had said in an interview last month that Russia and Ukraine will fight a decisive battle this spring, and this battle will be the final one before this war ends. To this end, Ukraine is standing up several new corps, each of which is said to comprise several thousand troops. Included in these will not only be new Western tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, wheeled vehicles and other equipments, but also a lot of engineering equipments. Ukraine is thought to be mustering up to 100,000 men into at least 12, but perhaps as many as 18 combat brigades to take on the Russians. They are thought to have been given around 200 Western tanks, 800 armored vehicles and 150 artillery guns to arm 9 of those brigades, meaning they could field up to 400 tanks, 1600 vehicles and 300 guns in total. So, what are the options that Ukraine has for its planned spring counter-offensive? Broadly speaking, it has three options. First, they could go with a single big attack using everything they have got. Second, they could split that force between simultaneous attacks in the south and east. Or third, they could decide on smaller scale attacks in both the south and east which are not coordinated. It seems very likely that Ukraine will go with what has worked for them in the past. What the Ukrainians have been successful at doing is small scale maneuvers using infantry, armor and artillery to attack Russian forces in small areas and gain ground. In all likelihood, this spring counter-offensive could possibly be a mixture of option number 2 and option number 3. The Russians believe Melitopol, a small city in southern Ukraine captured during the first days of the war, is the most likely target. Taking it back would break the land bridge between Putin's forces in the south and east, open up the road to retaking Mariupol and put Crimea within missiles range. And in recent weeks, Ukraine has stepped up bombardment of military targets in this city with long-range rockets and artillery, seeming to confirm those suspicions. Attacks into the eastern Luhansk region are also likely as Ukraine seeks to relieve pressures on places like Bakhmut and take back its industrial heartlands in the Donbas. But when exactly would this offensive begin? The simple answer as of this moment is nobody knows. First, an attack is unlikely as long as the ground is muddy. Ukraine's turf freezes in winter, thaws to a slush in early spring, then re-hardens as the weather warms, generally in late April and early May. Second, Ukraine is unlikely to attack until it has received all of the weapons it has been promised and until its troops have been trained to use them. That might take some time. Though Ukraine has received Leopard 2 tanks, Challenger 2 tanks and even 2 Patriot missile defense systems, it is still coming up short of the required weaponry to battle Russia's military. Also, starting last year, Russian forces had begun constructing lines of tank traps, trenches, minefields and barbed wire fences that now stretches the entire length of the front line. Ukraine's first task will be to breach that line. Next will come Russia's mobile defense units who sit away from the front but are primed to rush into battle whenever and wherever the barricades are breached. The immediate goal for Ukraine will be to recapture large portions of its south and east from Russia in a way that would make it obvious that it has regained the initiative. And as far as the drones are concerned, they don't seem to be much of a problem. Russia has enough of it themselves to destroy the Ukrainian fleet of drones. Only the start of the spring counter-offensive and a few weeks into it will tell how the situation on the ground really is. This was all about what Ukraine's spring counter-offensive might hold in store. We hope you would like this new video. Thank you so much for watching.